kʁistin. Madeleine Odette Lagarde is a French lawyer and Union for a Popular Movement politician who has been the managing director of the International Monetary Fund since July 5, 2011. Previously, she held various ministerial posts in the French government. She was Minister of Economic Affairs, Finance and Employment, and before that Minister of Agriculture and Fishing and Minister of Trade in the government of Dominique de Villepin. Lagarde was the first woman to become finance minister of a G8 economy, and is the first woman to head the IMF. A noted antitrust and labor lawyer, Lagarde became the first female chairman of the international law firm Baker McKenzie. On November 16, 2009, the Financial Times ranked her the best Minister of Finance in the Eurozone. On June 28, 2011, she was named as the next MD of the IMF for a 5-year term, starting on July 5, 2011, replacing Dominique Strauss-Kahn. Her appointment is the 11th consecutive appointment of a European to head the IMF. In 2014, Lagarde was ranked the 5th most powerful woman in the world by Forbes magazine. Personal life: Lagarde was born in Paris, France into a family of academics. Her father, Robert Lallouette, was a professor of English. Her mother, Nicole, was a Latin teacher. Lagarde and her 3 brothers, all younger, spent their childhood in Le Havre, where she attended the L'École copyright French section Wawona and L'École copyright Claude Monet. As a teenager, Lagarde was a member of the French national synchronized swimming team. After her baccalaureate copyrighted in 1973, she went on an American Field Service scholarship to the Holden Arms School for Girls in Bethesda, Maryland. During her year in America, Lagarde worked as an intern at the United States Capitol, as Representative William Cohen's congressional assistant, helping him correspond with his French-speaking constituents during the Watergate hearings. She graduated from Paris West University Nanterre Copyright Fence, where she obtained master's degrees in English, labor law, and social law. She also holds a master's degree from the Institut des Copyright-Études Politiques d'Aix-en-Provence. Since 2010, she has presided over Sciences Po-X's board of directors. She also prepared for a École Nationale d'Administration's entrance exam but ultimately failed to gain admission to the elite public administration school. Lagarde is divorced and has 2 sons, Pierre-Henri Lagarde and Thomas Lagarde. Since 2006, her partner has been the entrepreneur Xavier Gicanti from Marseille. A vegetarian, who very rarely drinks alcohol, Lagarde's hobbies include regular trips to the gym, cycling, and swimming. Professional career: Lagarde joined Baker McKenzie, a large Chicago-based international law firm, in 1981. She handled major antitrust and labor cases, was made partner after 6 years and was named head of the firm in Western Europe. She joined the executive committee in 1995 and was elected the company's first ever female chairman in October 1999. In 2004, Lagarde became president of the Global Strategic Committee. Ministerial career: as France's trade minister between 2005 and May 2007, Lagarde prioritized opening new markets for the country's products, focusing on the technology sector. On May 18, 2007, she was moved to the Ministry of Agriculture as part of the government of French section Fillon. The following month she joined French section Fillon's cabinet in the Ministry of Economic Affairs, Finance and Employment to become the first woman ever in charge of economic policy in France. International Monetary Fund appointment: on May 25, 2011, Lagarde announced her candidacy to be head of the IMF to succeed Dominique Strauss-Kahn upon his resignation. Her candidacy received the support of the British, Indian, United States, Brazilian, Russian, Chinese and German governments. The governor of the Bank of Mexico, Augusto M. Carstens, was also nominated for the post. His candidacy was supported by many Latin American governments, as well as Spain, Canada and Australia. On June 28, 2011, the IMF board elected Lagarde as its next managing director and chairman for a 5-year term, starting on July 5, 2011. The IMF's executive board praised both candidates as well qualified, but decided on Lagarde by consensus. Lagarde became the first woman to be elected as the head of the IMF. kʁistin would have been the first non-European. Her appointment came amid the intensification of the European sovereign debt crisis, especially in Greece, with fears looming of loan defaults. The United States in particular supported her speedy appointment in light of the fragility of Europe's economic situation. U.S. Treasury Secretary Timothy Geithner said that Lagarde's exceptional talent and broad experience will provide invaluable leadership for this indispensable institution at a critical time for the global economy. Nicolas Sarkozy referred to Lagarde's appointment as a victory for France. Oxfam, a charity working in developing nations, called the appointment process farcical, and argued that what it saw as a lack of transparency hurt the IMF's credibility. Viewpoints. In July 2010, Lagarde told the PBS NewsHour that the IMF's lending program for distressed European countries was a very massive plan, totally unexpected, totally counter-treaty, because it wasn't scheduled in the treaty that we should do a bailout program, as we did. She also said, we had essentially $1 trillion on the table to confront any market attack that would target any country, whether it's Greece, Spain, Portugal, or anybody within the Eurozone. With respect to the French economy, she stated that besides short-term stimulus efforts, we must, very decisively, cut our deficit and reduce our debt. In public remarks made right after her appointment, Lagarde stated that both the IMF and EU required Greek austerity measures as a prerequisite for further aid. She said, "If I have one message tonight about Greece, it is to call on the Greek political opposition to support the party that is currently in power in a spirit of national unity." She said of her predecessor that, the IMF has taken up the challenges of the crisis thanks to the actions of Managing Director Dominique Strauss-Kahn and to his team as well. On December 25, 2011, Lagarde argued that the world economy was at risk and urged Europeans to unify in terms of the debt crisis facing the continent. Questioned about her economic philosophy, Lagarde has described herself as with Adam Smith a Euro that is, liberal. Payback controversy. In an interview with The Guardian in May 2012, Lagarde was asked about crisis-stricken Greece and replied, "Do you know what? As far as Athens is concerned, I also think about all those people who are trying to escape tax all the time. All these people in Greece who are trying to escape tax. Even more than she thinks about all those now struggling to survive without jobs or public services. I think of them equally. And I think they should also help themselves collectively. How? By all paying their tax. Yeah." It sounds as if she's essentially saying to the Greeks and others in Europe, "You've had a nice time and now it's payback time." That's right. She nods calmly. Yeah. Her comments provoked controversy. Evangelos Venizelos said she had insulted the Greek people, while Alexis Tsipras declared, "We don't need her compassion." In an effort to quell the negative response, your next day Lagarde updated her Facebook page with, "As I have said many times before, I am very sympathetic to the Greek people and the challenges they are facing." Within 24 hours, over 10,000 comments had been left in response, many of them obscene. In July 2012, as the Greek economy continued to decline, and the country's leaders asked for an easing of the terms of external assistance, Lagarde said she was not in the negotiation or renegotiation mood at all. A year later, though, with her own organization conceding that its rescue package for Greece had fallen short of what was required, Lagarde Euro having previously said that Greece's debt burden was sustainable, Euro decided that Greece would not recover unless its debt was written off in a meaningful way. The Lagarde list. In 2010 Lagarde, then Finance Minister of France, sent a list of 1,991 names of Greek customers with bank accounts at HSBC's Geneva branch to the Greek government. On October 28, 2012, Greek reporter and editor Kostas Vaxivanis claimed to be in possession of the list and published a document with more than 2,000 names in his magazine Hot Doc. He was immediately arrested on charges of breaching privacy laws with a possible sentence of up to 2 years in prison. After a public outcry, Vaxivanis was found not guilty 3 days later. According to the New York Times, as of late October 2013, Vaxivanis faces a retrial, while the Greek authorities have yet to charge anyone on the list. Investigation into alleged misuse of power. On August 3, 2011, a French court ordered an investigation into Lagarde's role in a $403 million arbitration deal in favor of businessman Bernard Tapie. On May 24, 2013, after 2 days of questioning at the Court of Justice of the Republic, Lagarde was assigned the status of assisted witness, meaning that she was not herself under investigation in the affair. According to a press report from June 2013, Lagarde has been described by Stéphane Richard, the CEO of France Telecom, who has himself been put under formal investigation in the case, as having been fully briefed before approving the arbitration process which benefited Bernard Tapie. Media: Lagarde was interviewed in the documentary film Inside Job, which later won an Academy Award for Best Documentary Feature. The fashion magazine Vogue profiled Lagarde in September 2011. Lagarde was portrayed by actress Layla Robbins in the 2011 HBO television drama Too Big to Fail, which was based on the popular book of the same name by New York Times journalist Andrew Ross Sorkin. Lagarde presented the 2014 Richard Gimbleby Lecture, titled A New Multilateralism for the 21st Century. In 2014, Lagarde was named the 5th most powerful woman in the world by Forbes magazine. Honors: Chevalier, Promoted Officer, Order of la Copyright d'Honneur, Commander, Order of Ma Copyright Right Agricole, Honorary Doctorate from KU Leuven, awarded at KU Leuven-Culac. References. External links: infboss.org Tracking the Fight to Head the Fund, column archives at Project Syndicate, appearances on C-SPAN, Christine Lagarde at the Internet Movie Database, works by or about Christine Lagarde in libraries, Christine Lagarde collected news and commentary at Al Jazeera English, Christine Lagarde collected news and commentary at Forbes, Christine Lagarde collected news and commentary at The Guardian, Christine Lagarde collected news and commentary at The New York Times, Christine Lagarde collected news and commentary at The Wall Street Journal, Christine Lagarde at the Notable Names Database.